Well, good morning and welcome to SHOT Show in Las Vegas. Once again, I am here with PowerTac. Yeah,
Good to see
they
you.
have got a great new product to show you. And if you have ever been in a situation where you can't take your favorite light on a plane because the TSA won't let you on, I think you're going to like it. But hey, I know you're not here to listen to me babble on, so I'm going to turn the show over to PowerTac and let them tell you all about it.
Hey guys, Rob from PowerTech. So our friend Jim stopped by from L5 yesterday. We were talking, and one of the things that we just unveiled yesterday, we kind of did a soft unveiling. Didn't do any publicity before the show. It was kind of down to the wire whether or not we'd even get the thing in for the show. But this is the new waffle light. Okay? Now it's a collaboration we did with Philip Pepino from Where Our Families Trained. That's out in I can't remember the exact city in Florida, but if you go to waft.com, you'll be able to check that out. I want to say it's Orlando. That being said, we, PowerTac, Philip, a lot of his guys that he works with, a lot of guys that he does business with, think this might be the best everyday carry tactical light, period, at this point in time. A couple reasons why I'm going to walk you through them. No matter what you do, it will always turn on high power when you leave it any period of time. A lot of lights you have to go through certain modes to get to the highest setting. This light, when you turn it on, automatically goes to high power. So if I turn around, any kind of defensive situation, I have to grab it, high power. Now, if you do a quick double tap, it'll go straight to strobe. You let off and you don't do a full depress or a full click of the light, that strobe will only be momentary until you let go. If you want it to be permanent or consistent or on or constant on, you just push down twice, click it all the way in, you're good to go. That's feature one. Our mode button on the side. On some of our lights, it is directly to strobe. On this one, it is inert unless the light is on. Once the light is on, you press it, it goes straight down to your candle power mode or your very, very low light mode, map reading, small navigation on uneven terrain, things of that nature. You can go up to low, medium, high, and then you have turbo. Okay? Now, magnetically rechargeable, like all of our other products that we use with a magnetic charger. God forbid you take your magnetic charger. You have one of the magnetic chargers, Daniel? Magnetic charger. You have one over there? Whichever one. So, our magnetic charger, we don't want you to basically have to keep plugging in, plugging out, plugging in, plugging out. Something very easy, something simple to use. So, what we do, thank you so much. What we do is we have this magnetic charging setup. It's USB direct. But if you're deployed in Afghanistan, Iraq, anywhere around the world, you're not going to find this connection at a gas station or anywhere around there. We know that. But what we do is, if you take this little pocket here underneath this rubber grommet and you pry underneath it, it'll give you access to the micro USB cable that you can find it pretty much anywhere. You probably have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of them laying around in your house, your car, anywhere. And all you got to do is call PowerTech and say, hey, I got a problem. I need this for my light. So that is this port right here. So when you look at it, again, it's very simple. Plugs in magnetically, unplugs. Worst case scenario, if you turn around and you need help and you need to get access to that, I've used ballpoint pens. I've used all kinds of things, and you can just unplug and get to that. Okay? The second thing I'm going to talk about before we get in close and personal and show you the light is, it is the perfect size. It is a roll of quarters in your hand. Okay? It's one of those things that if you've got to make any kind of defensive movements, people don't even see it. So if I sit here like this, you know me, I'm a big fan of my Warriors, my lights like that, but this is a bigger light. It's kind of hard. It doesn't camouflage very well. If you think of the gray man theory, if you think of blending in or just something that people are going to carry. The main part of this light with Waft was, I want access to this light at all times. Your 11-year-old daughter is probably not going to carry the PowerTac. I would love to be able to grab one off her emergency, but she's not going to have this. Your wife, even if she's a badass, excuse my language, is probably not going to keep this in her purse. But she might keep that. It's just big enough that it can do what we need it to do, but it's small enough that your daughter, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your son, your cousin, they may keep this in their bag, in their purse. It gets lost in the pocket. It's got a deep pocket carry clip. You can also use it with a hat. So it's a very tactical tool, but it still puts out 1,200 lumens. And I mean, it's a very, very direct spotlight. It's very good, but it still has some spill because of the LED choice that we used in it. Two of the coolest features. If you look at this light, you'll notice that on the clip, it has an indexing point. So if you're left-handed, right-handed, we know that when you grab this, if you see how it indexes naturally, I almost naturally, with this clip, my pinky falls right over that mode button. So if I turn this light on, okay, and I want any kind of mode adjustment, it's that right easy. It's inconvenient, or excuse me, it's convenient. It's not inconvenient to get to. If I have to move this clip around, it's indexed on the other side as well. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can change back and forth and you have that different access. And you know, okay, if I grab this light, like right now I know because of the way it carries it, it's not in the right spot, but now I know it's in the right spot. I can get to that button right there. That's number one. So the clip, it doesn't move around, it doesn't wobble, it doesn't get out of your way. The number two really, really cool feature on this light. This is your strike bezel on the light. This is what I'm going to use as an impact tool. I'm going to use it to get some DNA on the bottom of it. But I've had the airport give me crap on some of the crenulated bezels on my flashlights. Well, if I don't want to throw my flashlight out, I can just take that off and I can put our smooth ring on there. Or I can just keep this off and keep more of those bezels in my gear. I can check the baggage, do whatever I have to do, and I can go ahead and put the smooth bezel on there. Or I've got another crenulated bezel, very similar to what we run on the Warrior. The whole principle behind this one, stuff is going to collect in there, okay? Tissue, hair, skin, blood, stuff of that nature. God forbid you have to get physical with somebody. We want to make sure that you're able to do what you got to do and notify law enforcement. So now here's the thing. If I'm going to the airport, you can also keep this sweet wedding ring. And you have a wedding ring on your finger, okay? This is basically the average size of a man's finger. This will probably fit most guys' index or ring finger, or it'll fit your pinky because of the dimensions of it. You take it off, just put it in the bin at TSA. If they ask, what's that? Oh, it's a ring. Who cares, right? Worst case scenario, you got to throw one away and you go to powertac.com and you get a replacement ring for it. So that being said, biggest changes to this light. This light is a 14500. We've never used this cell in another light. So it's a AA size cell and it's 3.7 volts. The cool thing is what we're working on right now, and that technology is right around the corner from PowerTac. We're probably going to eventually in the future be able to use a AA in this light as well. You might not get 1200 lumens. Obviously, you're probably going to be around the 400 or 500 lumen mark. But the goal, the intended purpose for this is you're going ahead and you go and you get a AA at a gas station, anywhere you can go, because this is a high-powered cell. God forbid, worst case, you could find a AA battery so you can still use the light that you've trained with, that you're comfortable with, and you're proficient with. Then you can turn around and still find something until we can get your replacement out or you can get to your spare battery, whatever have you. So the end focus for this one is we wanted to find something that was small enough and strong enough that we can turn around and make this work. However, we want it to be carried. We want it to be something that you're going to have on your person no matter what you do. Hey, puppy. So in a nutshell, sorry, Tracy here walked up. In a nutshell, okay, we've got, at the end of the day, what we believe is the most awesome tactical flashlight because size, power to weight ratio, and the serviceability and the adjustability of it. That's what's new from PowerTac. We've got a couple other things at the booth, but this is something we're really excited about. This is the WAF flashlight in collaboration with WAF down in Florida. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, L5, and stay safe. Be happy.